What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what's going on with Starfield. This is part of my So What's Going On series. I've been doing it for a few years, and basically, this is just where we take a look at a game, in this case being Starfield, talk about where it is right now and where it's going to go, obviously into the new year, kind of a 2023 edition. So I thought I would pick Starfield as actually the first Xbox game and only the second game of this series because of just the importance, right, that it has to Xbox. So where it's at now, there's not that much, I mean, to be flat out honest. Now, there has been kind of breadcrumb kind of interviews over the last couple months. You'll see them kind of pop up, even on their YouTube, right? They've done a few videos where they've taken some community questions. Todd Howard has done a few kind of Q&As, but they haven't been, like mind-blowingly huge, right? That's coming, and that's really what this video I want to talk about here. So, well, I got to start throwing out some predictions, right, to kind of figure it out. So I'm going to predict a few different things. Number one, I do think this game is going to come out in the fall. Okay, I've kind of been pretty heavily on that for a while now. I do think at the end of the day, it's going to end up becoming like a year or so delay from when it was supposed to. I can easily see the reverse happening, right? Comes out in the spring or early summer. I mean, if you want to argue that, that's totally fine. And I could see it, right? Supposed to come out November 11th. And then, does it get pushed like 6 months, in which case it would be the spring? Or are we looking at, again, like a full year thing where it's like September, October, November of next year? Again, that's what I think, but that doesn't mean, it has to be what you think. I do think like Redfall and stuff comes out first, and that would be somewhere in that springtime. So with that being said, right, if this game does come out in the fall, I do think, though, that early in the year we need to start kind of rolling out the red carpet, I guess, for this game. And this kind of actually connects to the big Xbox rumor Jez Corden has talked about, right? In fact, I think he's the one who kind of started it, that maybe there is a big show, like a showcase, in early 2023 for Xbox. And that would be a perfect opportunity to literally jumpstart the Starfield train. Because, again, like, while we've gotten a couple of Q&As and we're starting to learn a couple details, basically we only have what we've seen from their other shows that they've done of Starfield, and that's not many, right? So we do need to see a push towards a lot of gameplay. And a game like this, right, you talk about some games where it's like, well, you don't want to show too much. And yeah, you don't want to show like the entire game of Starfield, but considering how big I think we all imagine this game is going to be, and they've told us, I don't think it's that difficult, or that I don't think it's that crazy to ask for like a good amount. I think they can start rolling out a good amount of gameplay, and I'm not talking about like an hour, 2 hour long like playthroughs, but just dropping, a couple minutes here and there, or maybe you just do an entire quest that's maybe like a 20-minute thing, or you show a massive amount of customization. I mean, you can really do almost developer diaries where you just take different aspects of this game and do deep dives into it. So I would hope that maybe something along those lines, not maybe exactly that, but again, this Xbox showcase I do think is a good time to do something, or at least to kickstart it. And then as you go through the spring and as you go through the summer, you just don't stop and you just constantly show stuff. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave my predictions. I think somewhere in that September through November range is when the game will release. And I think hopefully by like February, March, we should start hearing about it, especially because, again, like, I think Redfall is going to get a lot of attention because I think that's going to come first, but I mean, hear me out, because of that, because we'll probably get a release date for Redfall, like, eventually, or I would argue maybe before Starfield, unless it's at the same event, right, unless they do them at the same time. But if it happens before, or even if it happens at the same time, well, Starfield immediately, I think, goes into people's heads as the next thing, right, because Redfall right now is the next thing, but then after that is Starfield. So I kind of think they're connected in that way, where you can't do one without people at least asking for the next one. Maybe unfair to Redfall, and I'm not saying Redfall is going to be a bad game, because I think it's actually going to be kind of cool, but I think those two are connected in that way. So hopefully, this early spring, or I guess late winter period, right, we can start to see stuff, and then it's just pedal to the metal. And this game, again, why I picked it for this video series is the first one. I mean, it's so important to Xbox. This is going to be, yes, you had Halo, right? But this is going to be the first gigantic game releasing day one, right? Game Pass, and also, you can buy it. Like, how does it do? Like, does it break records? Are people playing it at record pace, right? Like, and even selling, right? Does it appear on like Steam charts? Like, how is this game gonna do? It's gonna be really cool to watch. So obviously, a big part of Xbox's year next year, whether it be be Game Pass or revenue or just players playing a game, right, is going to rely on Starfield. So it is a very important game, and I think they know that. In fact, the last interview, I think with Todd Howard, or maybe 2 interviews ago, he literally said, like, he's not used to making a game that's a system seller because they've never done it before, and now they are. And so I think everybody from Todd to, Phil Spencer, like all of them, I think they all know how important Starfield's going to be. So let me know what you guys think. What are you expecting from it over the next year? When do you think it's going to come out? All that stuff, let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you want other games to be covered in this series, any specifics, let me know in the comments, and I will try to get to as many as I can, okay? Thank you for watching. I'll see you all on the next one.